Hello, I'm Troy Parker, President of Innovative Labor and Cleaning. This is another Mental Health Monday. Do you know your worth? Many times, after going through some type of challenge, it could be, like in my case, incarceration. It could be struggles with addiction, mental health issues, maybe a divorce or a lost job. Many times when these challenges happen in life, others look at us as though we're not worthy or have the same worth that we had before these challenges took place. And I had a situation that just happened to me recently. A longtime customer of mine, owner of a construction company here locally, approached me about starting a joint minority venture where I would own 51% and they would own 49%. Now, of course, I was excited about the idea because I've been wanting to start a construction company so that way I would have the ability to hire more people and to, spread what we do, not just here, but all across the United States. But as the talks went on, things would be said about, hey Troy, I feel comfortable with you and I know about your past, but we need to have controls in place because, if we put this money in here, you could just take the money and run off and buy a Corvette. Now, at first I overlooked it, thinking, okay, it was just a general statement. But then next, another statement came, and he said, well, Troy, we want to just see how things go the first few months and see if you're going to play nice as if I was a child. Then finally, we had a meeting where it was myself, the partners, and the one principal owner. After that meeting, I was told one of the partners did not feel comfortable with my criminal past, even though when the person first approached me, he said everyone knew about my past and they were comfortable with it. So then the suggestion was made to me, like, well, maybe Troy, you could find another African American and partner and give them the majority, and we would still have our 49%, and you maybe have 20% and let this other person have the majority of the minority shares. Then I saw that they did not see my worth. I saw that going into a relationship like this would only be detrimental. I often say at the end of all the videos, it's up to you to make your life matter. And I say this for many reasons, but one is this: you have to know your worth. And you have to make sure that whoever you deal with, and no matter what setting, that worth is respected. Whether it's at home with your mate, whether it's with your children, whether it's at work, in some other type of business deal, you cannot let others make you feel or treat you as though you are not as worthy as they are. Many times, after you go through a challenge, like I mentioned, it could be a divorce. Your worth is you're not quite sure, but you're, climbing back, getting back on your feet. You cannot go into the next relationship being treated as though you are less worthy than you were before. Nor can you take a job, even though maybe you've been unemployed for maybe due to COVID, maybe 2 years, and then be treated and paid as though you're not worthy as what you were prior to COVID. Or you cannot be incarcerated and then come out and start anew and be treated as though you're still the person who was incarcerated. Doing this would have a damaging effect on you. And I saw this quickly. And I told the individual that if there's not trust going into a relationship, it is much like a marriage. It is best not to even go into it. And I wished him luck, and we parted ways. I share this real life event with you so that you can see, one, that even though I'm trying to do things, I still have challenges too. And at first when it happened, it took me back. I had to really sit down and use some of the stuff that I put in these videos. And the one person who helps mentor me, text me and say, okay, now it's up to you to make your life matter. And I kind of laughed because at first I was a little down because I was excited thinking, okay, hey, I'm going to be able to have this new venture and it's going to get up and, you start dreaming it's going to be big and do millions and you're going to, hire a bunch of people. And then now all of a sudden it just fell apart. But I also looked at the benefits of going through this whole scenario. I started getting my company formed, started working on getting my MBE certification, started looking at, spaces and people to hire. So now I'm farther along than I would have been. It allowed me to also use many of the things that I share with many of you in these videos. One, doing the camera check. That's what made me see that, okay, wait a minute, they're not seeing my worth. Also, looking at my own thinking and making sure that, okay, hey, am I going to react or respond? I could have gotten mad and said, what the hell? How are you talking to me like that and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't. I just sat there calmly and I said, okay, let me think about it. And then after I thought about it, did my camera check, and then wrote down some of the things, what I felt and what I thought and was going on, then it allowed me to make an intelligent decision to see that, hey, this would not be a good course of action for me. I share this with you in the hopes that if you go through a situation like this, or maybe you're in one now, you'll be able to stop and make sure that the person that you're dealing with or people see your worth and treat you accordingly. And always remember, it's up to you to make your life matter.